Imagine walking into a billion-dollar food company. The factories are humming. The trucks are moving. The shelves are stocked in thousands of stores. Investors call it a consumer brand. Analysts call it a growth story. But rewind far enough, and it begins in a kitchen. Not a test kitchen. Not a corporate lab. A regular kitchen. One stove. One recipe. One person wondering if strangers might pay for something they made at home. And that's where things get interesting. Because turning a home kitchen business into a food empire isn't really about cooking. It's about surviving a series of financial traps that quietly destroy most food businesses long before customers ever hear their names. Right now, food entrepreneurship looks easier than ever. Social media can create demand overnight. Delivery apps provide distribution. Anyone with a phone can market a product. The barrier to entry has never looked lower. And that's exactly why the competition has never been higher. Every week, thousands of people launch sauces, snacks, desserts, meal prep services, and beverage brands. Most disappear. Not because the food is bad. Because the math is. Here's how the journey usually starts. Someone makes a product people genuinely love. Friends buy it. Then neighbors. Then local markets. At first, everything feels profitable. You spend $5 making a batch. You sell it for $15. Easy money. Or so it seems. Because the hidden costs haven't arrived yet. The moment demand grows, the business enters a strange phase. Customers want consistency. Stores want inventory. Regulators want compliance. Suddenly, the kitchen that launched the business becomes the thing holding it back. So the founder rents commercial kitchen space. Production costs rise. Packaging gets upgraded. Insurance appears. Permits appear. Labels appear. It's remarkable how many people want paperwork from someone selling cookies. And now comes the first uncomfortable lesson. Revenue is not cash. A local store might place a $1,000 order. Sounds great. Except the ingredients must be purchased today. The packaging must be purchased today. The labor must be paid today. Meanwhile, the store may not pay for 30 or 60 days. The business can be growing and still run out of money. This is where many promising food brands die. Not from lack of sales. From lack of cash flow. The irony is almost cruel. The better the product sells, the more money the founder needs upfront. Growth becomes expensive. Then comes the next leap. Distribution. This is where food businesses stop feeling like small businesses and start behaving like systems. A distributor offers access to hundreds of stores. Exciting. Until you realize the distributor wants a cut. The retailer wants a cut. Marketing costs increase. Transportation costs increase. Spoilage risk increases. That $10 product the customer buys? The producer may keep only a small fraction of it. This is the hidden mechanism most consumers never see. Food empires are volume machines. Margins are often surprisingly thin. A company selling millions of dollars worth of products can still be operating under intense pressure. Which creates a fascinating contradiction. Consumers see premium packaging. Investors see growing revenue. Founders often see a spreadsheet capable of ruining their weekend. Then comes scale. Factories replace kitchens. Supply chains replace shopping lists. The business becomes dependent on ingredients arriving from multiple regions, transportation networks functioning smoothly, and consumer demand remaining stable. One crop failure. One shipping disruption. One unexpected price increase. And the entire model gets tested. We've seen this repeatedly. Ingredient costs spike. Fuel costs rise. Packaging becomes more expensive. Consumers push back against higher prices. The squeeze happens from both directions at once. And suddenly the empire doesn't look so invincible. Because food is one of the most competitive industries on earth. Customers must keep buying. Every week. Every month. For years. There are no shortcuts. No magical network effects. No software margins. Just the relentless challenge of convincing people that your product deserves a place in their cart one more time. Yet some businesses survive. A few become giants. And that's what makes the story so compelling. Behind every food empire is usually the same transformation. A recipe becomes a product. A product becomes a system. A system becomes a financial machine. The cooking matters. But eventually, the business stops being about food. It becomes about inventory, cash flow, logistics, pricing, distribution, and risk. In other words, the empire isn't built in the kitchen. The kitchen is simply where the story begins. The real question is what happens after success arrives. Because once a food company becomes large enough, it faces the same challenge every empire faces. How do you keep growing when you've already convinced millions of people to buy what you're selling? And what happens when growth itself becomes the ingredient that's hardest to find?